Shaw and I'm with Nick Williams.
Hi, how are you doing?
And we're, as you know, doing Nick and Mark do latte, so we're carrying on with that series. In today's sort of chat, I thought we'd talk about this whole idea of giving stuff away for free. And I know you did a video with Mike Dooley a couple of weeks ago where he talked about that. What's your sort of view on giving away stuff for free?
I think it's almost necessary today to give away stuff for free. For a number of reasons. One, to establish credibility, to establish your generosity of spirit, to help people get a real hit of who you are. I think the art that many people haven't got is how to turn the interest that you get by giving stuff away into a sustainable business. I think there are, and I don't mean this in any derogatory way because I can really subscribe to it. A lot of people just love giving stuff, they love sharing it. They find it harder to start charging and creating products and services that they're going to earn money out of so that everything can be sustainable. And you mentioned Mike Dooley. If you don't know Mike Dooley, he does something called Notes from the Universe every day. You go to tut.com and you can subscribe. And to me, he's a beautiful example of somebody who's created what I would call a tribe. 300,000 people every day receive his emails. He gives away his best stuff every day for free. But he knows that a percentage of those people, and perhaps a relatively small percentage, are going to want to come to his live events, are going to want to buy his audio programs, and I know that he turns over millions of dollars a year on selling audio programs and his live events. But he only does that because he's given away so much good stuff. So he's built a tribe, and some of those tribe want to come and engage with him more fully and deeply.
One of the things, because I watched that video, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well is this whole idea of giving away your best stuff. Because there's a lot of people that would be thinking, oh no, I give away just any stuff, get them in, and then I have the free stuff behind the scenes or whatever. What's your feelings on that?
Well, it's kind of counterintuitive, but my take on it is actually you should give away your best stuff. But I think you also need to have a confidence to know that even when you give away some of your best stuff, you've still got so much more. And I talk about different levels, especially say around, kind of education or inspirational training or anything that's more knowledge based. I think what you do is you do three things. One, you inspire people to new possibilities. Number two, you teach them how to do that new possibility. And thirdly, a lot of people need hand holding in order to apply that. Like when I wrote my first book 10 years ago, the work we were born to do, I thought, well, I've given it all away now. And I almost felt like I'd made myself redundant. But in retrospect, I realised I hadn't at all, because a lot of people were inspired by the book, but they didn't know how to apply it to their own life. So they then needed to come to workshops, they needed coaching, they needed mentoring, they needed further products to really take the big ideas and apply those big ideas to their own life. So looking back on it, I gave away my best work in a way. It was a tenner, so it wasn't exactly giving it away. But everything I knew, I put into that book. But that just created a tribe of people that wanted to go more deeply into that same work.
So would your advice be free is great, but it needs to have a strategy behind it?
So free, not in the hope that by giving away a ton of stuff, some of people are going to put their hand up and say, can I come and spend some money with you? I think you do need to then wrap around a good business model on it to say free gives you a potential audience. We've given away our free program now to nearly 18,000 people over the last 18 months or so. So we've now got a pool of people, some of which want to come on our talks, want to come on our workshops, want to come and buy products, want to come on our mentoring programs. So I love the fact that we've given so much away, and we've helped a ton of people by just giving things away. But we've also created an audience for everything else that we do. So yes, give away, be generous. I don't think you can ever worry about giving away too much. And then create a business model around it that you can then generate income for people that want to dive more deeply into subjects.
And maybe that's the bit that people get wrong, is they don't have the business model around it. And so they just get this, and I can sort of attest to that a little bit, that all you feel like you're doing is just giving it away. Eventually there's got to come a point where you're making some money, otherwise you're a charity.
And I think there's two bits to it. One is just the sheer practicality of it. It's like, well, if you've given away some great stuff and people have got some great insights, what's the next step? So you need to have a kind of entrepreneurial mind, and you need to have obviously a level of expertise to go, okay, well, they've got all that, but they still need this. So you need to then create products and services that would then cater for those next steps. So one is just the practicality of what are the next steps and creating products and services to provide those next steps. But secondly, I've seen it in myself, and we've talked about it, and I see it in a lot of people, is a reluctance to value ourselves. You know, that we're happier giving stuff away than we are charging for stuff. And I think that's where other people fall down. It's like they don't develop the products and services that people would buy because they're afraid to ask for money. They feel much more comfortable in giving away than they do for charging. So for many people, that reluctance to charge and value themselves is a big obstacle.
Well, I'm glad you've raised that, because that's the topic of our next discussion, which is all about valuing yourself and how to start charging when perhaps you haven't been comfortable doing that, when you've never done that, how to go about that. And we'll have that in another discussion very shortly. So thanks, Nick, for the chat on that.
Good to see you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.